This is the Preston Indians pregame show. Coming up, we'll take a look at tonight's game. We'll hear from the coach and look at the pregame stats all leading up to tonight's action. You're listening to live coverage of the Preston Indians on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. And a very pleasant good evening as we welcome you here to Jerome High School as tonight the Lady Preston Indians take on the Jerome Tigers in an opening game of a two-game road trip over here to the Twin Falls area this weekend. Girls will stay here in town tonight and then travel to Wood River to play coming up tomorrow afternoon. Well, we welcome you here with us this evening, and for Preston, as they get ready to open up this important two-game swing, tonight's game and tomorrow night's game, both two-point games. And the way the conference is shaking out right now, they're becoming very important games indeed. As for Preston, as they lead the conference as far as conference games are concerned, but Century is just one loss back of them in the loss column. So these two games, both two-point games in the standings, become very, very important tonight for the Preston Indians. The Indians, who are coming off a 43-38 win over Marsh Valley last Saturday night. It was only their second win of the season over the Eagles during the holiday season and on the home-and-home series. For Preston, however, this is only their second game in the last 21 days. So they'll get back on the court here tonight and try to make things happen tonight here against the Jerome Tigers. The Tigers currently sitting in the fifth spot in the conference and come in with a 9-4 record overall on the year. Jerome is the highest scoring offense in the Great Basin Conference, averaging 56.5 points a game so far this year. They also post a 4-2 mark in conference play. The Tigers are coming off a 54-50 loss at Nampa the other night. Yeah, so that's where they come in with the 10-4 record. This year, Jerome has beaten Minico, Canyon Ridge, Pocatello, and Wood River, all in conference play so far this year. As far as these two teams meeting head-to-head is concerned, the Indians and Tigers have faced each other a total of 5 times going back to the 2010 season. And even though the ladies have won 2 straight games, they trail the overall head-to-head series 3-2. Last year, Preston beat the Tigers twice, winning 54-50 during the regular season. And then in the conference tournament, the Lady Indians again collected a 46-37 win. And both of those games were played at Preston Gym. So we'll work our way down here to the start of tonight's game, the opening tip-off. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll look at the keys to tonight's game. We'll look at the conference standings and other games coming up around the Great Basin 10. Coming up in just a little bit. We'll do that all as we continue right after this timeout.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
And they're going to cut down the nets in Las Vegas.
Imagine a world with no basketball.
No, please, no, no, no!
Yeah, no thanks. Basketball lives here on the Aggie Sports Network.
The Aggies return to the Spectrum on Saturday evening as the Nevada Wolfpack come to town. Pre-game show is at 5:30 and they'll tip off the game at 6.
Utah State basketball on KACH.
This time of year, the weather can change quickly. That means the road conditions change quickly too. If you usually feel stressed when you're driving as the weather changes, it might be because you don't have the right tires for the road conditions. Let West Motor Company help you choose the tires that will meet your needs. Take the stress out of your winter driving with a set of 4 new tires. Visit any of our dealerships in Preston or Logan today. West Motor Company, we do tires.
WestMotorCompany.com.
The keys to tonight's game are brought to you by Naylor Insurance.
Regardless of which insurance company you use, when you add a teen driver to your vehicle policy, your rates increase. This is Cheryl Kimball with Naylor Insurance in Preston. If you've got teen drivers, you need to know about the rate-saving plan offered through Mutual of Enumclaw Insurance. Teen Smart is an 8-hour program that, once completed, will lower your rates and make your teen a better driver. Savings and increased safety. It's a win-win. Call us today, 208-852-0819.
KACH. KACH.
Welcome back here to Jerome. Let's look at some of the important matters for the Preston Indians tonight in the game here this evening as they get back on the court here tonight. First conference game back of the holiday season. And the key number one will be simply just get back to work. Holidays are over and you get back into conference play here tonight. You have very important games this weekend. And coming up, you need to be looking ahead to see what's coming up because the best of the teams in the conference are coming up just around the corner as you have 2 games left with Century this year, and the first of which will come up on the road next Tuesday. So concentrate on these 2 games coming up this weekend and then go from there. Key number 2 is don't settle. Keep wanting more. Work for better shots, more points on every possession. Get the best shot you can out of every trip down the court. And again, key number 3 for tonight will be don't look ahead. Concentrate on these games here this weekend. Don't get caught up in the trap of looking ahead, as we mentioned with Century coming up on Tuesday and a home game against Burley coming up next week as well. If the Lady Indians lose these games, it will make games down the stretch even more difficult and getting home games in the conference tournament even more difficult as well. So those are your keys to tonight's game, brought to you by Naylor Insurance for life, home, and auto. Mutual of Enumclaw. Stop by Naylor Insurance on State Street in Preston or call 208-852-0810. That's 208-852-0810. Back more here right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
If it's time to sell your home, retail property, or land, make sure to hire the realtor that has your best interest in mind. This is Mike Hansen, broker at Cornerstone Real Estate. As a licensed real estate broker in Idaho and Utah, I have over 20 years of experience helping folks successfully sell property. I would like the opportunity to help you list and sell for the best price as quickly as possible. Call me today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to make the sale of your property as simple and successful as possible. Mike Hansen, 801-5 1121.
The first Wild Women's Clinic at Beaver Mountain will be held on Wednesday, January 22nd. The cost is $55 and includes a
COACH. 5 letters synonymous with leadership and encouragement. A person who cares about your success in athletics, but even more about your success in life. Hear from the coach right here on the Coach Craig Smith Show.
The Coach Craig Smith Show, live from the new Chicago Pizza location in Logan. Monday nights at 6 on FM 105.5 and AM 1340 KACH.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need. Quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield.
It's time for Preston High School Indians basketball. The Indians hit the court looking to bring home a Great Basin 10 title and make a run for a berth in the state playoffs. All the excitement of Preston basketball is brought to you by West Motors, with Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks all available right here in Preston. By Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care you'll find in all of the Cache Valley. By Stokes Market True Value, the big city market with small town friendliness. By Rouse Construction, bringing custom homes to the Blue Sage Park community right here in Preston. By Webb Funeral Home, just off Highway 91 at the south end of Preston. By Hawaiian Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. Come try the best Hawaiian food right here in the city of Preston. By Naylor Insurance, for life, home, and auto insurance from Mutual of Enumclaw on State Street in Preston. By Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. By Idaho Salvage, where you can turn your scrap metals into cash. By Preston Auto Parts CarQuest on State Street in downtown Preston. By Valley Implement. By S&T Electric. And by MyLocalRadio.com. Tonight's game is a presentation of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and is made possible through an agreement between Preston High School Athletics and Preston Broadcasting. It's presented for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or use of descriptions or accounts of this game without the express written consent of Preston Broadcasting, LLC is strictly prohibited. And once again, a very pleasant good evening from here at Jerome High School. As tonight, the Preston Lady Indians take the floor against the Jerome Tigers. As he's announcing the starting lineups out onto the floor. Usual 5 starters tonight for the Indians. Haley Meek will start at one guard. Sage Meek will start at the other. Alexis Harris will run the offense from the point, averaging 4.5 points a game. Cassie Pugmire, a senior, averaging 8.8 points per game. And Kylie Larson in the middle, coming off her best game of the year and possibly her career as well, as she put up a total of 22 points in the win over Marsh Valley. As tonight it will be Carly averaging 6.7 points per game. For the Jerome Tigers tonight, it will be Aberina Hurtado to get the start, a 6'4 senior. As it also be Madison Dedmond. She is a 5'5 senior. A 5'8 junior, Alexis White, starting tonight as well for the Tigers. Mercedes Bell, a 5'7 senior, who was a pretty good volleyball player, as I recall, on the Jerome squad. She gets a start tonight as well. And Hannah Chevanalter gets a start tonight as well. I was kidding with the Preston coaching staff before the game today, before things really got started, that the Jerome team should have been nicknamed 5'6", as most of the players on their roster are right about 5'6", 5'6", 5'7", 5'5". That's the majority of their roster. So for Preston, with Kylie Larson and Cassie Pugmire in the middle, should have somewhat of a size advantage tonight inside as we get started here in the game tonight. We apologize. We're working on the camera situation, trying to get that going as we get going here in tonight's game, as the opening tap is controlled by the Jerome Tigers as they bring the ball up into the front court. Jerome swings it over and out up top, as that layup is underneath, and that's going to be a traveling violation. The ball's going to come back over to the Indians. First possession of the night for the Tigers turns into a turnover, and they'll come out in a full court press as Preston brings it up into the front court. As we have a traveling violation, as Haley Meek got to the line and stumbled trying to get around a double team, and she also turns the ball over. So a pair of turnovers in each first possession for each team so far here tonight. And again, here's the Tigers back up into the front court. Driving baseline as Alexis White shoots from along the baseline. That's no good. Bell has the rebound, kicks it back out. Three-pointer is up and in, put in by Hurtado. Hurtado hits a three-pointer, and the Tigers draw first blood here tonight as they go up 3-0. Preston gets the ball up in the front court. It goes to Larson. And again, Larson, as the referees are letting Jerome really kind of body up, and has cost the Preston Indians a couple of traveling violations in their first 2 possessions here tonight. So now Preston comes out in the full court press as they get it to Dedmond up into the front court. Comes back over to Bell. Bell tries to get it down low, and it's blocked coming across by Kylie Larson as she comes across and makes the block. So Kylie has her first block of the game. As faking the three-pointer from the corner was Bell. Wild shot is no good, taken away by the Indians. Here comes Haley Meek up into the front court. Doesn't give it to Sage. Instead, she'll go all the way to the basket and loses the ball. And again, it's going to go back over to Jerome. So the Indians trying to play quick and just a little bit too quick as they've lost the ball in each of their first 3 possessions here tonight. Dedmon gets the inbound pass. Again, Preston shows full court press. They get it up into the front court. As there's a traveling violation that wasn't called, and the ball goes over to Dedmon, who hits a 2-pointer from the baseline. And it's 5-0 Tigers here in the early going here in the first quarter. Up into the front court, Haley Meek drives all the way to the basket. That's no good. She missed the layup. Underneath, it's Michaela Robertson who able to get the rebound just into the game, and she gets Preston on the board as she picks up her first 2 points. So Robertson, who averages 8.5 points a game, gets Preston on the board. As again, out of the full court press, here's the Jerome up the floor. The shot no good. Rebounded there by the Indians. And a foul finally called here against Jerome as Alexis White came up from behind and body checked Haley Meek pretty good. Ball will stay with Preston now. Hold on. Sage Meek comes off the floor hobbling. As Doc Robertson immediately comes down out of the stands to come down and look at Sage, as he's going to start looking at her right ankle. We'll keep an eye on see what's happening there. As Haley Meek has it, gives it back over to Harris. Her pass is too tall there for Larson. Taken away again here by the Tigers. Back up into the front court. Swing it over on the right side as it goes there to Dedmon. Dedmon drives and Larson's got another block, but it's a foul this time as well. Kylie Larson draws the foul. That'll be her first team foul tonight against the Indians. As going to the free throw line will be Madison Dedmon here for the Jerome Tigers. Her first shot is up and it is in. That makes it 6 to 2. And 3 points now on the game here in the early going here for Dedmon. Her second free throw goes around a couple of times like a motorcycle in a motordrome and falls in. That gives her 4 and Jerome back up by 5 again as it's now 7-2. Back up into the front court. Swing it across, no good. It's intercepted there and then taken away as Larson last to touch it goes out of bounds. So good hands by the Preston defense. Larson not able to keep it in play, however. So it'll go back to the Tigers as Dedmon brings it in from right in front of us as he gets it up into the front court. Over in the left corner, it goes there to White. White tries to dribble out, and that'll be a reach-in foul against Robertson. Michaela Robertson draws the foul, her first, team second. As Jerome will bring it in from the far sideline. As bringing it in, that ball's intercepted again. As it's again Larson able to step in front of the pass. In the front court, it comes to Haley Meeks. Splits the defenders and draws a foul. It's going to go on Madison Dedmon. That'll be her first, team's second. And Haley Meek is going to go to the free throw line. Haley this year is 72% free throw shooter. She's made 18 of 25 coming into the game, and she drops that one right in for her first point of the game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Stokes Market True Value, the big city market with small town friendliness. Stokes Market True Value on State Street in Preston. Meek to try the second. She missed that one. So she made one, missed one. As full court pressure again, almost turned the ball over was Jerome. As they get it back up into the front court. Now they turn it over as Haley Meek takes it away. 2-on-2, running up from behind, knocking the ball away was Bell. And the ball will stay with the Indians underneath their own bucket. As the sub comes in here, Michaela Nance coming in here for the Tigers. Time called on the floor by the officials here as Kylie Larson will tie up a shoe. Now we're ready. And Lexi Harris will bring it in from underneath her own bucket. As facing a 5 count, she tried to just bounce it inside and it was taken away by Jerome. And then trying to get it up to the floor, they throw it over the head of Alexis White and out of bounds. So a couple of more turnovers both at each end. And Preston gets the ball back again, trailing 7-3 with 4:40 to play here in the first quarter. As again, the pass is taken away, knocked away by the defense. And once again, here comes White down the floor and gets the layup. Lexus White driving in from the right side, able to get the layup. And Harris brings it back up in the front court again for the Indians as they break the full-court pressure. Underneath it goes to Ware. Ware will give it back to Harris. Now back out top to Meek. Larson way out away from the basket, standing in three-point area. We'll give it back to Haley Meek. Haley will go back to Brexley Ware. Free throw line extended right. Now back to Larson. Swing it back out top. Back to Harris. Harris fakes left. Drives right. Can't get a shot. Gives it back to Robertson again at the free throw line. Now back to Ware. She stands over on the right side. Back out top again to Ware. Back to Meek. Haley takes a long three. That's going to be off. And the long rebound comes off to actually Cook for the Tigers. Up into the front court. Headman gets it to White. White is fouled going up. Oh, they're going to call it a block. They're going to say it's a block and out of bounds. As Sydney Marlowe comes in, Michaela Robertson gets the block. That's her first. And the ball will stay with the Tigers underneath their own basket with a 9-3 lead here in the first quarter. Now, hold on. We got a whistle away from the ball, as that'll be a foul on Jerome. Michaela Nance with a blocking foul away from the ball. Actually be an illegal screen. Then the ball comes back over to the Indians. They get it up to Ware. Quickly it goes to Marlowe. Sydney drives. And not sure why that is not a blocking foul, as she jumped right in front of Robertson, and then they called it a traveling violation. Refereeing here in the first quarter has left something to be desired. Thomas in the backcourt gives it over to Cook. Cook up the sideline is cut off, and she'll give it back to Thomas again. They swing it over in the left corner. Now down the baseline, coming over, blocked again by Larson as she got her hand on the shot of Hurtado. Taken away by Marlowe, gets it to Harris. Harris tries to get up in the front court. She's cut off at the mid-court stripe. Now drops back into the backcourt under full court pressure. They get it to Robertson. She gets it across midcourt, and it's knocked away from behind. Quickly up into the front court again as it comes to Cook. Cook gives it back. 10-foot jumper here by Thomas. That's no good. And Larson up high again, grabs the rebound, gives it off to Harris, who drives quickly right down the middle. She'll lay it off to Ware. Ware with the layup is in. Brexley Ware with her first 2 points of the game. That'll make it 9-5 as Preston's down 4. 2:40 to play here in the first. As again the Tigers get up in the front court. Good hustle there by Kylie Larson. Got a hand on it to knock the ball out of bounds. So ball belongs to Jerome right by the Preston bench, just off to our right. As again, here comes Thomas down the baseline, and that's going to be a foul inside on Robertson. Michaela draws her second foul. That's the third team foul on the Indians. And Amaya Thomas goes to the free throw line, and the first one is in. She picks up her first point of the game as Robertson leaves. Trying to see who came in to replace her. I believe it was Larson came back on the floor as she makes them both. So Kylie Larson comes back on the floor. Larson, Marlowe all in there at the same time. Have not seen Cassie Pugmire here in the first quarter, however, as it comes back out top. Swing it over on the right side again, back to Ware, back out top. Now it comes back to Meek. Meek dribbles, gives it off to Marlowe. She hands it to Harris. She comes around, now give it back to Meek. Marlowe, or I should say Harris, a long three, needs a bounce, won't get it, as the rebound is off inside there for the Tigers. Up into the front court it comes to Thomas. Thomas drives, free throw line extended left. She gets now down to the corner, turned around there, bounces the ball inside, get it outside to Hurtado, can't get a shot. And she'll swing it back outside again, and foul here again against the Indians, as this one's going to go against Brexley Ware. Fourth team foul against the Indians. As Hannah Schwanelt will go to the free throw line, and she makes the first. Madison Dedmond back into the game for the Tigers as the second free throw by Schwanwalt is good. She makes both of their free throws, and it's now 13-5. Jerome up by 8 here in the first quarter with 1:40 to play. Swing it back out top to Harris. Harris fakes left, wants to drive right. Now she'll pull the ball back out again. Again, she crossover dribble, can't get anywhere, so she'll give it up. Gives it off to Meek. Now it comes to Ware. Now back it goes to Marlowe again. Marlowe now back to Ware. She holds it on the angle left. Goes across court as it goes back to Larson. Larson in the corner to Marlowe. Can't get a shot there. Back to Ware. Ware wants to drive and has the ball taken away on the pass. Good hands there by Cook to take the ball away. Back to Shoshanovault. Back up in the front court, and she'll give it up. And down in the corner it goes to Dedmond. A three from the corner is good. Timeout, Indians, as Dedmond has 7 here in the first quarter. And it's 16-5. Preston trails in the game here by 11. Timeout. We'll be right back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information, 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction, 435-232-1837.
KACH.
So the Tigers jumped out to an early 5-0 lead here in the first quarter. Preston tried to battle back, and now Jerome has extended that lead back out at 16-5. As we've gone under a minute to play here, left in quarter number 1, 57 seconds left to be exact. As the timeout called by Preston, it'll belong to the Indians in the backcourt. So far tonight, it's Madison Dedmond who has 7 points in the first quarter here for the Tigers. That leads all scorers so far in the game. Meek has it. Back up in the front court, it comes to Harris. Back to Ware. Ware back out top to Meek. Haley wants to drive, kind of pushes off a little bit to get a little operating room. Back down to Larson. Her shot no good. She stumbled on the way up. Back to Harris. A wild shot from her free throw line. That's not going to go. Meek has it again. Reverse layup. Good. Nice play there by Haley Meek to grab the rebound and then cut underneath for the reverse layup from the left side and get it to go down. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Shot put up there by Nance of the Tigers is no good. Preston has the rebound. They quickly come back up into the front court again. Hesitation step by Meek. Get it to Marlowe in the right corner. Back out top to Harris. Doesn't take the shot. Gets it to Ware. She looks at a three but doesn't take that. Terminates the dribble. Now gets it back to Harris. Back top of the key. 5 seconds left. 4, 3. Don't know the clock. They got to hurry and get a shot off. Meek throws it up, and it goes in, and it will count. Haley Meek hits a 3 at the buzzer to get Preston back to within 6. After the first quarter here tonight, it's Jerome 16, Preston 10. We'll go to the second quarter coming up right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
If it's time to sell your home, retail property, or land, make sure to hire the realtor that has your best interest in mind. This is Mike Hansen, broker at Cornerstone Real Estate. As a licensed real estate broker in Idaho and Utah, I have over 20 years of experience helping folks successfully sell property. I would like the opportunity to help you list and sell for the best price as quickly as possible. Call me today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to make the sale of your property as simple and successful as possible. Mike Hansen, 801-510-1121.
If you feel like your bank works against you, we invite you to move your accounts to Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. We work for you, not against you. Serving Southeast Idaho for over 65 years, we offer totally free checking with cash back rewards, 0 fees credit cards, low auto loan rates, and excellent customer service. Visit today, 311 South Highway 91, Preston. Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Here, the advantage is yours. Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
KACH.
Get the second quarter started. Ball belongs to Preston. Now Cassie Pugmire comes into the game and hits a little 5-foot jumper in the lane. on her first possession. So Cassie didn't play the first quarter. I can only guess that was some sort of disciplinary action from Coach Ryan Harris, as it goes up in the front court, back to Jerome, down the baseline. Cassie tried to step in front of the pass, almost had it. Thomas, a little runner from 14, that's no good. Ware has the rebound, punches it ahead as it comes to Harris. Lexi will slow the ball down and turn it back around up in the front court. Comes to Meek, hit that three-pointer right at the buzzer. Inside, it goes to Marlowe. Marlowe high off the glass, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Hannah Schonevelt draws the foul. That's her first, team's fourth. And here's Sydney Marlowe at the free throw line. Sydney averaging 2.6 points a game so far this year as she hits the first free throw. Coming into the game tonight, she had made 11 of 26 from the free throw line. And now adds one more to each of those as she'll now shoot the second. Sid, deep knee bend, and that's going to be short. In fact, it was an air ball and goes out of bounds. So Marlowe makes 1 out of 2, and the ball comes back over again to the Tigers as Haley Meek jumps in front of that ball and knocks it out of bounds. Speaking of Meek, look down here toward the Preston bench. I don't see Haley Meek sitting down there. I'm guessing she's sitting back on the bench, and I just can't see her down here at the far end of the court. Back up to the front court as it comes back to Thomas. Thomas underneath. Schonevelt gets the layup and in. Schonevelt's got 4, and it's now 16-13 as it's now a three-point game again. Up into the front court, Ware has it here for the Indians. Gives it back to Haley Meek. Haley running the point, tries to penetrate. Now she'll back the ball back out. Looks inside. Comes down the left side as it comes to Ware. Pass inside, try to get it to Marlowe, taken away by Schonevelt as she gives it off to Thomas up into the front court. That's a double dribble as stopping momentarily was Bell, and then decided to drive again, but she stopped the dribble and then put it back on the floor. That's another turnover charged against the Jerome Tigers. Here's Sage Meek back into the game now. So that's good news to be able to report. Bad pass thrown from the corner by Harris, taken away again by the Tigers, back up into the front court. Here comes Thomas down the middle, throws it up off the glass and in. Larson stumbled trying to play defense, and that gave the Tiger player basically a free walk to the basket. Marlowe gets it back out, comes back out top to Meek. Meek tries to drive, she's turned away. Now finds herself top of the key, and the defense again is taking the ball away. Back to Bell. Bell goes to Schonevelt, goes right through her hands, and then Harris is knocked down. That'll be a blocking foul, as that'll go against Dedmon. That'll be her second. That's team number 5 on the Tigers. As here comes Preston as Sage Meek will bring the ball up the floor. Haley Meek goes to the bench for the first time here tonight with Pugmire back on the floor. And the pass underneath is saved on the floor by Pugmire, but it's saved right to a member of the Jerome Tigers. Bell gets it back out top, back to Schonevelt. Goes that back to Bell, down low. There's White, and coming across and blocking the shot was Sage Meek, but a foul on Sage Meek. So the foul on Sage will be her first. That's 5 team fouls now on the Indians. So that matches what the Tigers have done. As we got the video back, now see if we can get it to run properly here for you. We're still working on the problem. We'll work on it here as we go along. See if we can get it back. As White makes both free throws. She has 4 in the game, and it's back out to a 9-point lead again at 22-13 for the Tigers. Their biggest lead in the game was 11. Up into the front court, Larson has it back on the floor. Swing it across to Harris. Lexi drives, cut off, back to Meek. Three-pointer from straight away. Needs a bounce, won't get it. The rebound is off there as it's taken by Hurtado. Hurtado brings the dribble back up to the front court. Tries to weave her way around Meek. Good defense there by Sage. Gives it to Bell. That three-pointer is no good. Running along the baseline, able to grab the rebound was Cook. As they kick it back to Schonderveld again. In and out on the three-pointer, off the glass. Bell has the rebound underneath. They're going to call that a held ball. And see who the possession arrow is going to go back to. It'll stay with the Tigers underneath their own basket. 4:42 to play here in the first half. 22-13. As that big lead that the Tigers had opened up, Preston whittled it down to about 1 or 2 at the quarter break. As now they opened it back up again. White drives the baseline against Harris. Gets cut off by Pugmire. She'll kick it back out. Hurtado has it now on the angle left. Free throw line extended left as it comes to Cook. Back out top to Bell. Swing it all the way over in the right corner. Hurtado fakes. Tries to drive, gets it back to Schonderveld. Schonderveld has tied up by Pugmire, almost lost it. Now the ball loose in the paint. They're going to call it a tailed ball. That one's coming back over to Preston. As the coach of the Tigers, Corey Musgrave, yelled timeout about 3 times, and the officials never heard him. So the ball belongs to the Indians. Where it's Robertson in the front court, gets it up in the front court. As it comes to Larson, I tell you what, the referees are letting some banging going on here tonight. Robertson throws it up, and there's a foul. As Michaela will go to the free throw line as Mercedes Bell draws the foul. That'll be the team's 6th, and with 3:55 remaining here in the first half, the Tigers are now out of fouls, and that means free throw time for the rest of the way out through the halftime break here for the Indians. As Robertson makes the first. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. Come try the best Hawaiian food right here in Preston and ask about their catering options while you're there. Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins Bowling Center in Preston. So Michaela makes both free throws. Gives her 4 points in the game and gets Preston's trailing now by 7. Hurtado back up into the front court. Swings it over on the left side as it goes there to Bell. Bell back out top to Nance. Nance goes back to Bell. Now they come back over on the right side, back to White on the angle. Schonderveld, top of the key, driving down the middle, bangs into who is that? Larson, and will able to draw the foul. So that'll be 2 on Kylie. And that's 16 fouls on the Indians now here in the first half as well. So Hannah Schonderveld will go back to the free throw line. She will also shoot 2 here. As the first one is a little short and will not fall in. So Schonderveld will go back and try the second. Don't forget, 2 o'clock tip-off tomorrow afternoon from Wood River. As that ball in and out, she missed them both. Pugmire has the rebound. We'll have the game for you tomorrow live on KACH and here on mylocalradio.com tomorrow afternoon. Pregame show at 1:45. Robertson looks down the right side. Nobody down there, so she'll come back out top to Sage Meek. Swing it over in the corner. Nobody there. Larson was there, but she left. And then Sage thought she was still over there and threw it to nobody. I guess technically it wasn't nobody. She threw it to the Jerome cheerleaders. 3:14 to play. Preston still down 7 here in the first half. Schonderveld gives it to Hurtado in the backcourt. She gets across the timeline. Sage Meek right in her pocket. Back across the top of the key. Hurtado now will come down the right side as she gives it off to White. White wants to drive baseline and had it knocked away by Harris and out of bounds. It'll stay with Jerome as we go under 3 minutes to play now here in the first half. Hurtado to bring it in from underneath her own bucket. Gets it into Schonderveld in the corner, as that's going to be a blocking foul on Pugmire. So far here in the first half, the officiating has been very inconsistent. I'm not normally one to pick on the officials, but when players are driving the ball up the court, they can just about take a limb off and not get called for a foul. And then when the ball is settled in on offense, just a mere touch will draw fouls as she missed both free throws. Stays a 7-point lead for the Tigers. As down in the corner, Robertson, and she loses the ball. Taken away again by Hurtado. Back up into the front court. She drives all the way. Layup is no good off the bottom of the rim. Harris has the rebound again for the Indians. Harris trying to battle her way back up in the front court. She gets around Hurtado. Kicks it off to Sage Meek. Three-pointer from the right side is good. Sage gets on the scoreboard with a 3. That gets Preston back to within 4 at 22-18. Driving as that shot there by White. There's contact before the shot. She just threw it up and threw it off the top of the backboard. And then it came down. Robertson had it. Would roll out of bounds, so the ball will stay with the Tigers underneath their own basket. See, I'm telling you, that's the perfect example of the inconsistent officiating so far here in the first half tonight. So Hurtado will bring it in. Not sure what the officials are waiting for. They're all standing looking at each other. Now Hurtado has it, and she'll put the ball in play. Nance gets the inbounds pass. It comes to Bell. That was deflected, and it goes out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Tigers over in front of the Preston bench. Here comes Brexley Ware back into the game as she hustles over the scorer's table to check in. As Sage Meek will now go to the bench with 2:08 to play here in the first half. Thomas dribbles now against Haley Meek as Haley comes back into the game to replace Sage. Back to Hurtado, driving on Ware. In the corner, it goes over to Thomas. Thomas will swing it back out. Now in the right corner, it goes down Hurtado. Holds the ball up high, bounces it down low as it goes to Schoneveld. Schoneveld can't get a shot. She held it up over her head, and Pugmire took it away. Here comes Cassie up into the front court. Hurtado tries to cut her off. Cassie pulls up for a long 3. Wild shot. That's no good. Long rebound comes back to Haley Meek. Back out top, it comes to Ware again. Minute and a half to play here in the first. On the right side, it goes over to Robertson. Back out top to Ware. She gets it back to Pugmire on the at the left elbow. Back to Robertson. She looks at a 3. That's no good. As the rebound inside, Meek had it, took it away, ends up falling over the top of Hurtado as she gets the ball out. As it comes to Thomas for Jerome. Bounces it down low. Larson able to punch that away on the entry pass. Knocked around by Robertson. Comes back to Larson. She'll get it back to Robertson, back up in the front court. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. As Robertson, and it's going to be called an illegal screen here against Ware. As that'll be 8 team fouls now on the Indians. That's an offensive foul, so will not get free throws attempted. As Thomas will bring it back in. Preston trails by 4. 50 seconds to play here in the first half. Schoneveld back up into the front court. She drives down the middle, gets cut off. She'll get it back out again as it comes to Thomas. Into the left corner. Three-pointer from there put up by Bell. That was no good. Pugmire grabs the rebound. Here come the Indians. Defenders are back, but Cassie's going to drive all the way to the basket. Tries to lay it off. Offensive foul. Pugmire went in a little dangerously, a little speedy. And a member of the Jerome Tigers stepped in front of her, and to be an offensive foul with 31 seconds left here in quarter number 2 as Preston trails 22-18. We'll be right back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome to West Motor Ford. We love happy customers. With multiple financing options, it's easy to drive your new vehicle home. We offer a full line of new Fords and a constantly changing pre-owned vehicle inventory. Our service department is top-notch with technicians trained for everything from routine maintenance to major repairs. With a large selection of parts and accessories, including tires, we've got you covered. So come in and let us turn up your happy meter. Visit West Motor Ford in Preston today.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome back. 31 seconds left here in the first half as the Indians come back out on the floor. They've actually outscored Jerome 8-6 here in the quarter, but they still trail by 4, 22-18 in a sloppy played first half as it comes in, intercepted by Haley Meek, and she's fouled from behind, and she'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to be against Amaya Thomas. That'll be her first. 7th team foul here against the Tigers. So Haley Meek goes to the free throw line to shoot a pair. First one by Haley is good. She has 7 points here in the first half. Reminds you to stay tuned for the Ralph Construction halftime report coming up at the halftime break. Ralph's Construction, building quality custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community in Preston. For more information, call 435-232-1837. Second one by Haley Meek is good as well. She has 8, and it's now a 2-point game. 25 seconds left in the half. Driving all the way and throwing it away as Alexis White had a 2-on-1. She threw it too far out in front of Hannah Shannervelt, and it went out of bounds. So Preston has it with 22 seconds to play. Down by 2 here in the first half. Harris brings the ball across midcourt. On the left side, it comes over to Sage Meek, just back into the game. Sage has had her shot partially blocked, and now they're going to say it was just simply an air ball and going to give it back to the Tigers. They have 9 seconds to shoot here remaining in the first half. Down low, it comes to Shannervelt. Shannervelt tries to drive. With 5, with 4, they get the ball in the front court. It's Hurtado for the long 3 at the buzzer. It's an air ball, and that's the way the first half will end as Preston, who fell behind early, fought back, fell behind again, and only to come back and trail only by 2 as we go to halftime here. 22-20 is the score as we head to the halftime break. Stay tuned for the Ralph Construction halftime report. It is coming up right after this.
KACH, mylocal.radio.com.
Are you looking for a different kind of spot for lunch, dinner, or to do catering for your next event? Then try the Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins right here in Preston. At Island Bowl Grill, they have the best Hawaiian fare in the area. The combination of teriyaki and Korean influences can only be described in one way: mouth-watering. Offering 3 different catering options, Island Bowl Grill can host your next party in-house at Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. You can pick up for takeout, or they can come right to your house and prepare the food on site for your next party. What could be easier? Go to poppinpins.com for more information on Island Bowl Grill, or call 208-425-6128. Poppin' Pins Bowling Center, 411 South US Highway 91 in Preston.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
The halftime report is brought to you by Ralph's Construction. More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information, 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction, 435-232-1837.
KACH.
Welcome back here to Jerome. We are at halftime in a wild, sloppy at times, quite frankly, questionably officiated at times, first half here tonight as Preston fell behind early. Fell behind in the first quarter by as many as 11 points. Fought back to within 2 in the second quarter. Fell behind again by 9. And then again closed back in, but ran out of time in the first half as they go to the halftime break, trailing 22-20 here this evening as we are at halftime. And this is the Ralph Construction halftime report. As we mentioned, kind of a wild played first half, but Preston had hopefully come away and learned a lesson from the way that Jerome played defense in the first half. A lot of pressure on the ball and behind the ball when Preston would try to set up offensively with defenders coming up late up the floor and blocking the ball away from behind. I guarantee you they will see that next week when they see the Century Diamondbacks for the first time this year, as Century did that exclusively last year against Preston, and that caused many turnovers in the games against the Diamondbacks a year ago. So Preston trails 22-20 here at the end of the first half. As we'll take a timeout, we'll come back, we'll look at the scoring from the first half. We'll do all that as we continue right after this timeout.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
And they're going to cut down the nets in Las Vegas.
Imagine a world with no basketball.
No, please, no, no, no!
Yeah, no thanks. Basketball lives here on the Aggie Sports Network.
The Aggies return to the Spectrum on Saturday evening as the Nevada Wolfpack come to town. Pre-game show is at 5:30. They'll tip off the game at 6.
Utah State basketball on KACH.
Having your prescriptions refilled has never been easier. You can refill 24/7, set reminders, save medications, and access your account from the new My Community Pharmacy mobile app offered by Preston Drug. It's simple to use and it's simple to get. Log on to PrestonDrug.com and enter your mobile number. We'll send you the app. It's as simple as that. There are some things in life that have been made easier through technology. This is one of them. The app offered by Preston Drug is a quick and easy way to refill medications and promote a healthy lifestyle. Visit PrestonDrug.com to...
We're not your ordinary grocery store at Stokes Market and True Value in Preston. We see every customer as a friend and a neighbor. Stokes Market and True Value offers a clean, bright, and modern store with the freshest meats, produce, and bakery. In many ways, we're still old-fashioned. We still bake from scratch, and our bakery items are made in store. You'll never see meat with an ingredient list because our meats are all natural and cut in store. Stop in today. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
In Franklin County, they know it's what's on the inside that really matters. That's why they offer advanced radiology and imaging using the latest in technology, performing x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, nuclear testing, ultrasounds, mammography, and much more, right in Preston, Idaho. With short wait times and a highly skilled staff available around the clock, they'll help you reach a diagnosis quicker. Make sure your doctor knows you want to save time and money closer to home. Let them be the next to take your picture. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
KACH.
Welcome back here at halftime. Remind you that the Indians have another game coming up tomorrow afternoon. They'll tip off the game at Wood River tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll be with you with the pregame show at 1:45 tomorrow afternoon. And that game will be followed by Utah State at home at the Spectrum against Nevada, as the Wolfpack will come to call. As a pregame show tomorrow night for Utah State basketball here on KACH will be at 5:30, and they'll tip that game off tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. So the stats from the first half of tonight's game. First for Jerome, it was Aberana Hurtado who had 3 points in the first half. Alexis White finished with 4. Amaya Thomas also had 4. Madison Dedmond had 7 in the first half for the Tigers. Michaela Nance played but did not score. Ashley Cook likewise played but did not score. Mercedes Bell also came up scoreless in the first half. Hannah Schonnervelt had 4 points in the first half and was 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Overall, Jerome was 6 out of 8 from the free throw line in the first half of the game. So for the Preston Indians in the first half, Haley Meek, who had made 3 out of 4 from the line, had a total of 8. Sydney Marlowe had 1. Michaela Robertson had 4. It was Sage Meek who had 3 in the game. She made 1 3-pointer, but just seeing her back on the floor was good enough as she hobbled off the floor in the first quarter with what looked like an ankle injury. But she came back out on the floor and played well. It didn't look like the ankle was bothering her at all. Alexis Harris scoreless in the first half. Brexley Ware had 2. Cassie Pugmire did not play in the first quarter tonight, as she also finished the first half with 2. And Kylie Larson was scoreless in the first half. So 22-20. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. The second quarter, or I should say the second half, is coming up right after this. This has been the Ralph Construction Halftime Report. We'll be right back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information. 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction. 435-232-1837.
The first Wild Women's Clinic at Beaver Mountain will be held on Wednesday, January 22nd. The cost is $55 and includes a light breakfast, lunch, and a 2-hour ski or snowboard lesson. Space is limited. You need to be registered by Monday, January 20th at our Logan office or at the Mountain Snow Sports School. Go to skithebeef.com for all the information.
The Limbic Arc may help you or someone you know be more calm. It's simple to use. Find out more by logging on to mylocalradio.com and clicking on the Limbic Arc logo. Check it out now. Visit mylocalradio.com and click on any Limbic Arc logo.
Advertise your open positions on the radio. You'll be amazed how quickly you see a response. You'll reach more people for less. The job stop includes radio and internet advertising. Call us for more info. We're a local company with a toll-free number, 833-856-9625. That's 833-856-9625.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield, Logan.
Second half just underway as Preston has the ball underneath their own basket after a missed shot, and the rebound was knocked out of bounds by Jerome. And then a 5 count called against Lexi Harris. She couldn't get the ball in. So another tough start to a quarter again for the Indians. Is that of the 5-second count as Preston comes out and they meet the ball right at the timeline. They get it in the front court as it comes to Dedmon, who had 7 points in the first half. She gives it off, ball taken away as it's taken out of the hands of Alexis White as Haley Meek gets it back up into the front court here for the Indians. She drives, pulls up, top of the key. She'll now back out and let the offense set up. She drives down the right side of the key, bounce it down low, try to get it to Larson. They knock it away. Sage Meek able to pick it back up, give it back to Haley. Haley Meek gets to the free throw line, kicks it off left. There's White, or I should say Harris. Her three-pointer's no good. Larson gets the rebound as the ball came loose and gets the layup for her first 2 points of the game. And we're tied, as that's the closest that Preston has been since the opening tip. As Lexi Harris draws the foul. Blocking foul against Hurtado, bring the ball up into the front court. As they get it in, they bounce it to White, and that'll be knocked out of bounds again. And again, it'll stay with the Tigers, but first a timeout called by Jerome, as we will keep it here after the timeout, as Preston was able to get even in the game. They've tied the game at 22. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Franklin County Medical Center. At Franklin County Medical Center, you'll find the finest care in all of the Cache Valley. Go by and check it out for yourself. Franklin County Medical Center. Again, we apologize. We're having some issues with our camera tonight. It popped on there for a moment, then went back out. And haven't really had a chance to get it back on yet. Has not come back on yet, I should say. But we still work on it. And hopefully we'll get it on here before we're done. As the Tigers will bring it into the front court. It comes back to Bell. She holds it at the left elbow, wants to drive, gives it off. As it comes back to Dedmon, she backs it back out as the defense was showing good pressure. She's dribbling against Sage Meek. Crossovers over on Sage. Tries to drive, dropped it, kicks it back to Hurtado for a three. Is good. Hurtado with a pair of threes for 6 points in the game. And it's a lead again for the Tigers. And again, it's stolen away from behind on that invisible defense. Dedmon goes behind the back up into the front court along the baseline. The shot there by White goes in, comes out, then goes back in. She has 6 in the lead, quickly back out to 5 again after the timeout. Up in the front court. It comes back to the Indians as Sage Meek gives it back over to Haley on the right side. Free throw line extended, down into the corner goes to Robertson and knocked away. Seems the idea here for Jerome defensively is just get as much pressure right in the face of the Indians as they can and not allow them to shoot, let alone control the ball, as Robertson will get it back in. But again, like I mentioned at halftime, get used to it because that's what you're going to see next week against Century. Here's Sage Meek for a three, is good. Sage has a pair of threes. She's made 15 threes now on the year, and the down low as it goes back to Dedmon for the layup. Good look and a good pass down low. It's 29-25 in favor of Jerome. Preston has never led. They tied the game at 22, and that's as close as they've ever got. In the corner goes to Robertson. Tried to get it inside to Larson. It's over her head, taken away as here comes White back, or I should say Hurtado back up in the front court. Drives on Robertson, pulls the ball up, bounce it down low, back to Schaunervelt on the left block, tries to go up. Her shot is blocked there by Larson as she'll kick it back out. And again, here come the Indians back the other way. Haley Meek tries to drive, and then a reach-in foul there against Alexis White. That'll be her second, and it's the first team foul against the Tigers here in the second half. So team fouls are one apiece. Again, there's that contrast in officiating as they'll let players get away with just hammering on each other, and then what becomes a very ticky-tack foul on a reach-in as Sage Meek has her little 5-foot jumper spin in and come out. And again, here comes Dedmon up into the front court. Her pass is too far out in front of Schaunervelt and out of bounds. So it comes back to Preston as the Indians go from left to right across your dial here in the third quarter, in the second half. As it comes back to Meek, Robertson gets it back up across the timeline, back into the front court. Bounces it down low to Larson. Kylie shoots, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, misses again. Goes back up for the third time, and this one's in. So 4 quick points for Larson here in the third quarter. Gets Preston back to within 2 again at 29-27. As Haley Meek got a hand on the ball, knocked it away, but kept alive there by Bell as the Tigers get it back to the top of the key. They go back down to the right corner, back to Dedmon. Dedmon wants to drive and then travels. She worked her way through the defense, stepped through a double team and stumbled and ended up losing the ball as the ball come back over to Preston once again. Sage gets it into Haley, now back to Sage. Quickly they get it up to Robertson. Robertson gets in the front court to Larson. Here come the Indians 2-on-1, bounce it over in the corner. And the pass wasn't strong enough to get it to Pugmire as the Tigers got back and took the ball away. Comes to Hurtado, gets it back up into the front court. She drives, pulls up, passes it over into the left corner. Now back to Hurtado, stands in three-point country as the ball is put down low to Nance. And Nance makes several moves, and then she falls down, and another traveling violation is called. Brexley Ware back into the game as Haley Meek will leave now here for the Indians. And a timeout called by Preston. 3:41 left to play here in quarter number 3. We'll take a timeout and be right back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
KACH.
So Preston down by 2. 29-27, 3:41 to play here in the third. Preston, who's 5-1 on the road this year, and got some work to do tonight. They want to keep that record intact as it comes in the front court to Larson. Larson back out top, taken by Robertson, top of the key. Surveys the defense, tries to penetrate. Now she'll back the ball back out again. Goes to a left-handed dribble, crosses over on Hurtado. Looks again, now passes it to Sage Meek. Down low it goes to Larson in the key. Turns right, puts it up, no good, but she's fouled. That was a good-looking move inside. Michaela Nance draws her second foul. That's 2 on the Tigers as a team here in the second half. And now here is Kylie Larson at the free throw line to shoot her first 2 free throws of the night. Kylie, a 48% free throw shooter. And the first one goes in and out. This year, as a team, Preston came into the game shooting 58% from the line and averaging 41 points a game. As Haley Meek comes back in, she'll replace Sage as she goes back over to the bench. Second free throw here by Larson is good, as Kylie has 5 points in the game, as Preston now back to within a point again at 29-28. As it comes to Cook for the Tigers. Cook will hand the ball back to Bell. She'll dribble out near the top of the key, out near the timeline. She gives it off to Amaya Thomas. Thomas surveys the defense, looks inside. She'll go back to Bell, free throw line extended right. Now back to Thomas, right down the baseline. That's no good. Rebound is off to Larson. She got banged into, no foul. As Larson now will come back across the timeline. Gets it to Robertson. Robertson is going to be held there, as it was Gentry Mills just into the game for the first time. And she draws a foul. That'll be the third on the Tigers as a team with 2:44 to play. Preston get their first lead of the game with a hoop, as Hannah Schonerveld comes back in, as Mercedes Bell will come back to the bench. See if Preston can get a lead for the first time here in the game here tonight with a hoop here this trip down the floor. Ware has it, free throw line extended left, bounce it in the left corner to Pugmire. She comes back out top to Haley Meek. Haley bounce it inside as Marlowe back into the game. Sydney goes off the glass and in, and for the first time tonight, Preston has a lead. 30-29, Preston on top. As it comes to Mills for the Tigers, back up in the front court. Nance has it. Nance gives it to Schonerveld, back top of the key. She'll give it off there as it comes to Thomas. Almost had it taken away. Thomas again. Free throw line extended right now. Keeping the dribble, brings it back out top and comes back to Mills. Mills tries a little lob pass inside and headsy play there by Meek. Able to step in front and take it away. Here comes Haley all the way down the floor. Runner in the lane, that's no good as it deflects off. Jerome has the rebound, and here comes Thomas again, back up into the front court. Lob pass underneath, it's too tall and out of bounds as they try to get it to Michaela Nance. So another turnover charged against Jerome, and the ball will come back over to the Indians once again. 1:43 to play, Preston on top, 30-29. It took the first half and about 6 minutes here in the third quarter for Preston to finally sniff the lead. As it comes to Pugmire in the right corner, she tries to save it on the floor, but she can't. That's a turnover against the Indians, and again the ball will come back over to Jerome once again. 1.5 to play here in the first. Madison Dedmon with 8 points, leading the Tigers in scoring. As the ball comes to White, she has 6 points so far in the game. Now back over to Nance. Nance will get it back to Mills, back near the top of the key. As Shaunavelt pops back out, they get her the ball again, top of the key, being guarded there by Marlowe. She terminates the dribble. She'll give the ball back as it's back to Nance again. 1 minute to play here in quarter number 3. As again, it comes back to Mills. She'll holds it out near the timeline. Shaunavelt comes out to meet the pass. Now once again, it comes to Thomas. Thomas looks inside. There's nothing there as they probe the defense, looking for any pass they can get. As again, it comes back over to Nance on the right in front of the bench. Taken away there by Haley Meek. Haley all the way. The layup is in. Preston goes up by 3. Haley Meek has 10 in the game. And it's 32-29 with 28 seconds to play. That shot's off the bottom of the backboard. Look out as Marlowe runs into Shaunavelt. Quickly to get it up the floor. Comes to Ware. Her shot is no good. Banging and bouncing all over the place. And now we're going to have a foul called, as this is going to go against Cassie Pugmire, and that'll be her 3rd foul. See, both teams were banging and bruising and on the drive to the hoop, and they finally call a foul on the rebound against Pugmire. As here comes Thomas up into the front court with 10 seconds and another foul charged against the Indians. If this is against Pugmire, it'll be 4, and it is. So that's 4 against Cassie. She's going to spend a good chunk of quarter number 4 on the bench with those 4 fouls. And with 10 seconds left in the quarter, Jerome has the ball. See if they can get a quality shot here as the ball's brought into Thomas. Free throw line extended right. Back out top to Nance. Back to Thomas with 2 with 1. They're not even going to get a shot off, as it wouldn't have counted anyway if it went in. So Preston takes a lead to quarter number 4. They trail by 2 at the break. They lead by 3 going to quarter number 4. We'll take a timeout. The 4th quarter is brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. We'll go there right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
If you feel like your bank works against you, we invite you to move your accounts to Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. We work for you, not against you. Serving Southeast Idaho for over 65 years, we offer totally free checking with cash back rewards, 0 fees credit cards, low auto loan rates, and excellent customer service. Visit today, 311 South Highway 91, Preston. Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Here, the advantage is yours. Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
The 4th quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Webb Funeral Home.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
KACH.
Preston has the ball to start the 4th. Up in the front court. Comes back to Brexley Ware. Ware will give it back out to Haley Meek, top of the key. Meek wants to drive. She's cut off there by White. Looks inside. Still nothing there. Back over to Harris on the left side. Bounce it down low. Comes to Marlowe. Knocked away from behind by Shaunavelt. Shaunavelt stumbles. Goes down at the midcourt stripe, and a timeout called here by Jerome, as they're afraid that Shaunavelt might travel while she was laying on the floor and give the ball up. Tonight's game brought to you by, in the 4th quarter of tonight's game, is brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. In your time of need, you need professionals with true compassion. That's what you'll find at Webb Funeral Home. They're just off Highway 91 at the south end of the city of Preston. So the opening game of this 2-game weekend swing here in Jerome for the Indians tonight, as they find themselves leading here 32-29, as again the camera pops back on. See if we can get it to stabilize here this time. We appreciate those who continue to try to work on it and try to keep it on for us, as looks like it's wanting to work. Big problem that we have here in Jerome is just a real lack of internet capabilities. as the camera goes out again. Technically wise, there's not really enough upload speed for the video, so it keeps messing up the camera, and that's kind of what we've been dealing with all night. So here we go. Ball belongs to Jerome. 31 seconds into the fourth quarter as Preston leads by 3 as they get it in as it comes to White. White wants to drive on Harris. She'll give it off to Hurtado. Free throw line extended left. Back it comes to Dedmon. Dedmon top of the key. She wanted to go right, then had to bring it back left. Goes to the left-handed dribble, drives to the basket, and a foul underneath. Hurtado's going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. The foul's going to go against Brexley Ware. That'll be her 3rd. So she has 3. Cassie Pugmire on the bench with 4. That's 4 team fouls against the Indians here in the second half. And here is Dedmon. Her first free throw is no good. She has 9, and she leads all Tigers in scoring tonight. Haley Meek has 10. She leads all players in the game. As Dedmon makes the second, and now she has 10 in the game as well. And we got a sub coming in as Sage Meek will come back in as Brexley Ware will go back to the bench. Preston up by 2, 7:12 to play in the game as they get it into Meek. Haley under a little bit of pressure in the backcourt, gets it to Harris. Oh, it's picked off as it's intercepted there by White. All the way, lay it up and in, we're tied again. So White gets the layup, the steal and the layup. Here comes Haley Meek back up into the front court as again, they've turned the pressure up defensively. They bounce the ball down low inside. It goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Preston underneath their own basket. So tied at 32 here in the fourth. Harris, who's already had 1 5-second count against her, forces the ball inside, and it's taken away. They tried to force it inside to Marlowe. Outside, the ball comes to White. Her jumper from there is no good from about 14. Schoneveld fights for the rebound, comes back outside, back to Bell, and that's going to be an offensive foul. That's called against Madison Dedmon, offensive foul on the rebound. So that'll be 3 on her. Each team now with 4 team fouls here in the second half. And Preston has the ball back court as Michaela Robertson comes back into the game. As she gets it into Larson, who comes to meet the ball. Quickly up into the front court, taken away again. As they took it away again from this time from Marlowe. Hurtado gives it down to Dedmon along the baseline. She drives. They throw it up toward the basket, and it's good. Put in by White. White now hits double figures as she has 10 points in the game as well. As Jerome goes back up by 2. As Robertson dribbles it off her foot, comes to Larson in the right corner. Kylie has it there, tries to throw the pass. It's intercepted again. Again up the floor. Here comes Bell. She throws it up at the basket. It goes in. The foul's occurred, and the basket counts. As Bell will go to the free throw line, the foul is on Haley Meek. That'll be her first. Bell gets her first 2 points of the game, and she's going to go to the free throw line to try to complete the 3-point play. But first, a timeout called here by Preston. We'll sneak one in here as well. We'll be right back.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
If it's time to sell your home, retail property, or land, make sure to hire the realtor that has your best interest in mind. This is Mike Hansen, broker at Cornerstone Real Estate. As a licensed real estate broker in Idaho and Utah, I have over 20 years of experience helping folks successfully sell property. I would like the opportunity to help you list and sell for the best price as quickly as possible. Call me today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to make the sale of your property as simple and successful as possible. Mike Hansen, 801-510-1121.
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by West Motors with Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks. They're all available right here in the city of Preston. 36-32. The Tigers have jumped back on top again as they've really turned up the defensive intensity here against the Indians here early on in quarter number 4. As it will be Mercedes Bell going to the free throw line to try to complete the 3-point play to extend the lead. So Bell at the free throw line, and nothing but net. As she completes that, she has the three-point play and her only 3 points of the game. As Jerome again goes up by 5. Comes to Larson. They double team her right in front, right along the sideline, and that's going to be out of bounds. The ball's going to stay with Preston. Last touch by Mercedes Bell. As they had Larson trapped, and then she looking, trying to get rid of the ball, ended up on 1 foot off balance, and quite honestly, Preston was lucky to keep the ball. Comes to Sage Meek, back out top to Marlowe. Sid, one bounce dribble, so comes over on the right side to Robertson, who brings it back across top of the key. Dribbles it off of her foot as it's again picked up again by the Indians. This time Haley Meek has it. Haley will go back to Robertson. Robertson has it as again looking. Twin high post offense here for the Indians with Larson and Marlowe in the game, as the shot underneath is an air ball knocked out of bounds by Preston. And it'll go back over to Jerome. 37-32. Jerome on top. 5:23 to play in the game. As here comes Shaunavelt back up into the front court. Shaunavelt will give it off there to Hurtado. Hurtado looks down low, can't go down there anywhere, so she comes back outside to White. White back to Shaunavelt, drives the left side of the lane, and she's fouled as she's going up. As Larson had it and bounced the ball off the floor, she's going to get given a personal foul. Did they tee her up as well for bouncing the ball off the floor? I believe they did. Yes, they did. So technical foul against Larson. The technical foul is a personal foul. You got to be kidding me. They gave her a personal foul for flipping the ball in the air. So the technical foul is a personal foul. That gives her 4 in the game. There's also the personal foul on the shot, but we'll shoot the technicals first as Shaunavelt will go to the free throw line. As she makes the first. Gives her 5 points in the game. You know, we've talked about it many times and come back over here to the Twin Falls area. How the officiating is much different and sometimes suspect. And that's really what we're getting here tonight. So Shaunavelt makes both of the technical free throws. Now she'll shoot the free throws from the personal foul as she makes that one as well. She's made 3 in a row. It's now an 8-point lead again for the Tigers at 40-32, and she makes all 4. Gives her 8 points in the game and back out to a 9-point lead again, 41-32. And plus, they'll get the ball back, will the Tigers, at midcourt. They get it ahead to Hurtado. Cassie Pugmire back into the game here for the Indians. Hurtado's layup is no good. Marlowe has the rebound, and finally, here's a foul called against the Tigers underneath as they'll hold Meek, as the foul will go on Shaunavelt. That's just her second. 5th team foul now against the Tigers. Ball back court here for the Indians. They get it into Haley Meek. It comes back to Robertson. Marlowe has it at midcourt, comes back to Meek. Meek drives, kicks it back outside. Robertson for 3. No good. Bounces high up in the air. Pugmire takes it away on the rebound. Spins, takes another 3 of her own. That's no good. That's a rebounded there by Shaunavelt. She gets it back outside as it comes to White. 4:30 to play in the game as White will slow the ball down and give it back to Hurtado. Hurtado holds top of the key as it goes back over to Bell. Free throw line extended right. Drop it back down on the block to Hurtado. Spins, looks inside, off the rim and no good. Almost went down 4 as the rebound is loose underneath, and it's going to be held there. And the ball will come back, it will stay with Jerome underneath their own basket. 41-32, 9-point lead again for the Tigers after the personal foul and the technical foul called against Larson. Inbounds pass is inside and no good. And then a foul is going to go against Schonervelt, and all of a sudden she has 3 fouls in the game. That's a blocking foul. 6 team fouls now against the Tigers. They're out of fouls, and the ball's going to belong backcourt to the Indians as they'll bring the ball in and try to get it up the floor again. Tell you what, when Jerome turns up the defensive pressure, they are tough to move the ball against as they'll meet the ball again at midcourt. They get it up into the front court as it comes to Marlowe. Sidney drives against Schonervelt, bounces it down low, intercepted by Bell. Here comes Bell, 1-on-2. She sees the defenders are back, so she'll slow it down. Get it back to White, back out top to Hurtado again. 3:45 to play in regulation. 9-point lead for the Tigers. Looking down inside, they get the ball to Bell. Bell drives all the way and around Robertson, and they call a foul on Robertson. Wow. Nope, they're going to call it on Pugmire. That was on 3. Cassie wasn't within 25 feet of the ball. They called the foul on the wrong person. Robertson should be called for the foul, not 23. Cassie Pugmire was 25 feet away from the ball. And they charged it on her, and that's 5 on Cassie. So Cassie's going to go to the bench. The drive underneath was defended by Robertson, not Pugmire, and they call it against the wrong person, and it's going to be her 5th foul against Pugmire. Unbelievable. So they call the foul on Pugmire, and she's not within 25 feet of the ball. As the foul shot on the 1-and-1 is they'll call it a 2-shot foul, and the first one's no good by Mercedes Bell. So they called the foul on 23, not 3, as the second free throw is good. As they get the ball up and try to get it up into the front court, Robertson gets it across the timeline. As it comes back to Robertson, Sage Meek had it momentarily, back to Robertson. Robertson dribbles top of the key, gives it back over in the left corner, goes back to Sage, down low underneath. Marlowe has it at the right elbow. That pass is bad off the ankle of Robertson, goes back to Haley Meek in a crowd, able to finally get a look at the basket and put it up and in. Back to within 8 again is the Indians at 42-34. Schonervelt gives it off to Hurtado. Hurtado to White. Dribbles it off her foot, but Hurtado able to have the ball roll right to her. Back out top to Schonervelt as it comes back to Bell. Back to Hurtado. Tries to drive, can't. Back out top to Schonervelt. She'll give it back. No, the ball's intercepted by Haley Meek. Haley all the way, laid up in a foul. Look out, dangerous play from behind. That's got to be an intentional foul and a flagrant, as Haley was clearly ahead of the pack, but they don't call it. It's a call on Deadmon. That's her 4th. So here's Haley Meek to the free throw line. Haley's first free throw is no good. Lexi Harris back into the game, as it will be Sid Marlowe coming back to the bench. 2:36 to play. 8-point lead, as that shot rattles around and falls in. Haley has 13 in the game. And Preston down by 7 again. 42-35. 2:20 to play in regulation. Bell on the right side gives it back out top to Deadmon. Deadmon comes on the left side as it comes back to Hurtado. Looks down low, nothing there. So she'll bring it back out top to Bell again. Bell wants to drive on Robertson. Robertson got a hand on it. Robertson took it away. Robertson has the ball, and then it's Schonervelt who drives in the middle of the play and ties the ball up, but the ball will stay with Preston with 2:03 to play. So it comes in to Haley Meek up into the front court. Comes to Harris. Harris gets across the timeline. They knock it away again. Comes back to White. Back to Hurtado. Lay it up and in. For whatever reason, Preston likes to try to dribble through those double teams, and they just knock the ball away every time they do it. They throw it into another double teams. They try to get it to Robertson. They take it away again. Preston throwing the ball and trying to dribble the ball right into the heart of the defense every time up the floor. 1:30 to play. Tigers up by 9 and a foul on Meek. That'll be her second. That's going to be 1-1 coming up here. As it will be Alexis White going back to the free throw line. It'll be 1-1. White tonight has shot a couple of free throws earlier in the game, and she made them both. White makes the first. That gives Jerome a 10-point lead. 45-35 with 1:26 left here in the fourth. Fourth quarter brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. She makes them both. She now has a dozen in the game, and it's an 11-point lead. Up into the front court, it comes to Sage Meek. Back to Larson, three-pointer. That's no good, as Hurtado able to pull down the rebound. 1:10 to play as Preston now trying to double team in the back court. Hurtado gets it back up into the front court, and foul called on Sage Meek. Whistled for the foul, as that puts the Tigers into the double bonus. So that will be Hurtado to go to the line to shoot 2 here into the double bonus. And her first is good. She now has 9 points in the game, and Jerome goes up by a dozen. Hurtado will now step to the free throw line to try the second. That's a little long. Rebound up high as Schotterveld inside, and rebound foul on the rebound, I should say, by Jerome. That's going to go against Mercedes Bell. That's just her second. So Jerome's is a minute and 7 seconds away from going to 6-2 in the conference. Preston will also lose their second game in conference play as they're down by 12 with a minute left. 1-1 coming up here for Michaela Robertson, as she was the victim of the foul. As the first one is good. So Michaela makes the first. She has 5 here in the game, and she can cut the lead back down to 10 again. Second shot rattles around, and it falls in as well. So 47-37 with 1:02 left in the game. Dedmond in the backcourt being double teamed there, and a whistle and a timeout called by the Tigers as we go under a minute to play here in quarter number 4, as they need a timeout. Timeout on the floor will be a full timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
KACH, MyLocalRadio.com.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
KACH.
58 seconds to play, 47-37, Jerome on top. Don't forget, tomorrow at 2 p.m. tip-off from Wood River up in Haley, about 45 minutes up the road from here. And then the Utah State Aggies tomorrow night. Pre-game show at 5:30 as they'll play host to the Reno Wolfpack as Jerome gets the ball in the backcourt. Up into the front court, and a reach-in foul on Robertson. Again, it's amazing. They'll let, a lot of times they've let fouls go and let ball handlers potentially lose a limb, and then the ticky-tack foul on the reach-in called. as this will be Alexis White at the free throw line to make the first. She's 5 of 5 from the free throw line here tonight and has 13 points in the game. That equals her with Haley Meek for high point honors in the game. Second free throw is no good. Lexi Harris able to pick it up in the corner, as that'll be a foul in the backcourt on Schaunervelt, and that'll be 4. That's 9 team fouls now against the Tigers. And Lexi Harris will go to the free throw line to shoot her first free throws of the game. Still looking for her first points in the game here tonight as well. And the first shot is no good. She missed the front end of the 1-and-1 and then commits a foul in the backcourt. And she's going to send Alexi White back to the free throw line again as Alexi draws her second foul here in the game. So Tuesday night, ladies will be on the road again. Their first of 2 matchups against the Century Diamondbacks. Tuesday night will be in Century. We'll have the game for you here on mylocalradio.com and on KACH radio. And then later on, a couple weeks later, the 2 teams will meet again at Preston. As the most difficult part, the games within their own pod lie dead ahead of them. Second free throw is no good. Harris back up into the front court. Comes to Haley Meek. She fakes, drives left, down toward the left corner. Bell meets her there. Tough defense. The ball comes to Robertson and a reach-in foul. Foul's going to go on Mercedes Bell. That'll be her third. That's 10 team fouls now on the Tigers as well. And Robertson will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair in the double bonus with 33 seconds left in the game. As Michaela makes the first. So Michaela now has 7 in the game. Back to the free throw line to shoot another. She makes them both. Gives her 8. Preston back to within 10 again at 49-39. Inbounds passes underneath is knocked away, and it's going to stay with the Indians underneath their own basket. 31 seconds remaining. They can hit a 3 here, make it very interesting as the ball comes loose. Harris has it in the right corner, and then Harris has it taken away as Hurtado shoved her, and then Harris comes up and she pushes Hurtado, and she's going to get a flagrant foul and come out of the game. As Brexley Ware will come back in. So the flagrant foul, intentional foul called against Lexi Harris as Hurtado elbowed her and knocked her to the floor. Lexi got back up and gave Hurtado a 2-hand shove and drew the foul. Need to get the Tigers back on the other side of the midcourt stripe to shoot the free throws here with 25 seconds left. So Hurtado will shoot the free throws. As her first is no good. So now Brexley Ware will now finally get to come back onto the floor as she replaces Harris. Hurtado goes back to the line. Her second free throw is no good again. She missed them both. So now the ball again will stay with Jerome in the backcourt. So the frustration level grows for the Preston Indians with the interesting officiating in the game here tonight. As Dedmon gets it into Hurtado in the backcourt. As Preston goes man-on-man zone press, or man-on-man press, I should say. The ball knocked away off Hurtado. It stays with the Tigers as Hurtado will bring it in over on the far sideline in the backcourt, try to get it to Dedmon. That ball's punched loose. Again, it's picked up there by Schaunervelt. As it comes, Schaunervelt puts the ball to the dribble. She has to go down to the floor to try to keep from taking it away, as that's going to be tied up by the Indians, but a timeout again called by the Tigers up by 10 with 8 seconds left, and they're worried about losing the ball. So a timeout again called here by the Jerome Tigers, and will again keep it here. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Naylor Insurance. For life, home, and auto from Mutual of Enumclaw, stop by Naylor Insurance on State Street in Preston, or give them a call at 208-852-0810. That's 208-852-0810. So Preston's going to slip to 12-3 overall on the year. Century was in action tonight at Mountain Home. You got to figure Century's going to win that one. Burley was taking on Twin Falls tonight. That game is at Twin Falls. So Twin Falls has an opportunity to move back to within a half a game of the Indians, as they would win their 11th of the year and actually be a game ahead of Preston in the loss column. As Hurtado holding. Now it's a 5-second violation. The ball's going to come back over to the Indians. She couldn't find anybody to give it to. That was a good pressure defense in the backcourt by Preston. It's all really for naught here with 8 seconds left and Preston down by 10. As Sage Meek will try to get it in. She gets it into Robertson. Robertson steps up. She'll take a long three and hit it. Timeout, Preston, with 4.3 seconds left. 7-point advantage now here for the Tigers. So a 30-second timeout called by the Indians. If they could have hit the three-pointer with about a minute left and really got closer, they could have made a much better run here in the final minute of the game. But they're going to come up short with only 4 seconds left and still trailing by 7, so it's still a 3-possession game. So games at Century versus Burley, then at Pocatello lie dead ahead after the conclusion of this weekend trip for Preston, as this will be their last game against the Western Pod as they get it in. Dedmon just hang on to it. She'll cover it up like a mother hen trying to guard her chicks, and that's the way the game will end. 49-42. The Jerome Tigers able to win it here tonight over the Indians. Jerome improves their record to 11-4 on the year. Preston slips to 10-3. We'll invite you to stay tuned. The post-game show coming up next. Tonight's game has been brought to you by West Motors, with Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks, all available right here in Preston. Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care you'll find in all of the Cache Valley. Stokes Market True Value, the big city market with small town friendliness. By Ralph's Construction, building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community in Preston. By Webb Funeral Home, just off Highway 91 at the south end of Preston. By Hawaiian Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. Come try the best Hawaiian food right here in Preston. By Naylor Insurance, for life, home, and auto insurance from Mutual of Enumclaw on State Street in Preston. By Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. By Idaho Salvage, where you can turn your scrap metals into cash. By Preston Auto Parts CarQuest on State Street in downtown Preston. By Valley Implement. By S&T Electric. And by MyLocalRadio.com. Now, stay tuned for the postgame show. Coming right up.
When the time finally comes to deliver your new little one, the comforts of home are vital. Franklin County Medical Center understands, and that's why the new maternity suites are designed with a warm family atmosphere, spacious rooms complete with sleeping accommodations for your partner, and state-of-the-art birthing equipment. At Franklin County Medical Center, your new arrival will be welcomed into the world safely, and the expert staff will ensure you're relaxed and comfortable. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
Are you looking for a different kind of spot for lunch, dinner, or to do catering for your next event? Then try the Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins right here in Preston. At Island Bowl Grill, they have the best Hawaiian fare in the area. The combination of teriyaki and Korean influences can only be described in one way: mouth-watering. Offering 3 different catering options, Island Bowl Grill can host your next party in-house at Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. You can pick up for takeout, or they can come right to your house and prepare the food on site for your next party. What could be easier? Go to poppinpins.com for more information on Island Bowl Grill, or call 208-425-6128. Poppin' Pins Bowling Center, 411 South US Highway 91 in Preston.
The first Wild Women's Clinic at Beaver Mountain will be held on Wednesday, January 22nd. The cost is $55 and includes a light breakfast, lunch, and a 2-hour ski or snowboard lesson. Space is limited. You need to be registered by Monday, January 20th at our Logan office or at the Mountain Snow Sports School. Go to skithebeef.com for all the information.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield.
This is the Preston Indians postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game, take a look at the final stats, and a look at other games from around the area on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. Welcome back here to Jerome. Now, I understand that sometimes players have good days and sometimes they have bad days, but certainly this had to be a bad day for the officials tonight, as well as a game that was roughly officiated. Let's put it that way, to the point where they fouled Cassie Pugmire out of the game with about 3 minutes left on a play that she wasn't within 25 feet of the ball, on a foul that should have been called against Michaela Robertson, but they charged it to her, and that was her 5th, and she was out of the game. Other times during the game when plays got a little rough and ragged, as the officiating in the game was also a little rough and ragged as well, but then all of a sudden, next time down the floor, just a little ticky-tack reach-in foul was called again by the officials. The players had no way to gauge what the officiating was going to call or not call in the game tonight, and that really bothered the Indians certainly more than it bothered the Tigers. Preston able to battle back and finally took a lead, 3-point lead into the fourth quarter, as they trailed through the entire first half, and really only a couple lead changes in the game. For the few minutes the Preston Indians had the lead and then gave up the lead back to Jerome early in quarter number 4, and then Jerome would not be headed as they outscored the Preston Indians 20-10 in quarter number 4 and go on to the 7-point win tonight, 49-42. Preston is now 10-3 overall in the year. They suffer their first loss within the conference. They are now 6-1. With the win, the Tigers improved to 11-5. And they are now 6-2 in conference play. So interesting game here tonight. Preston comes up on the short end. They snaps their 5-game winning streak, and they've now won 10 out of their last 12 overall, but they come up short here tonight. Come back, take a look at the scores from tonight's game. We'll do all that as we continue right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome to West Motor Ford. We love happy customers. With multiple financing options, it's easy to drive your new vehicle home. We offer a full line of new Fords and a constantly changing pre-owned vehicle inventory. Our service department is top-notch with technicians trained for everything from routine maintenance to major repairs. With a large selection of parts and accessories, including tires, we've got you covered. So come in and let us turn up your happy meter. Visit West Motor Ford in Preston today.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Well, the way the scores shake out in the game here tonight, it's for the Preston. First, let's look at the Jerome Tigers, who come up victorious in the game here tonight. For Jerome, it was Abriana Hurtado who finished the game with 9. Lexi White had 14 in the game. Amayo Thomas had 4. Madison Dedmont finished the game with 10. Gentry Miles played but did not score. Michaela Nance also played but did not score. And the same for Ashley Cook as well. Mercedes Bell finished the game with 3. Hannah Suttervant finished the game with 8 for the Tigers. They ended up going 19 for 28 from the free throw line in the game here tonight. For the Preston Indians, Haley Meek led all the Indian scorers in the game. She had 13 tonight. Sydney Marlowe had 3. Michaela Robertson had 11. It was Brexley Ware who had 2. Cassie Pugmire had 2. And Kylie Larson finished the game with 5. Overall tonight, the Preston Indians were 11 for 14 from the free throw line. Jerome wins it 49-42. We'll take our last time out. We'll come back and wrap it up from here in Jerome right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
The holidays are a special time filled with delicious meals, savory meats, desserts, candies, and hot apple cider. The team at Stokes Market and True Value in Preston wish you and yours a delicious holiday season filled with happiness. Visit us today for all the ingredients for your special recipes. Shop the wide selection of holiday gifts for everyone on your list. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston. We thank you for your patronage.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
In Franklin County, they know it's what's on the inside that really matters. That's why they offer advanced radiology and imaging using the latest in technology, performing x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, nuclear testing, ultrasounds, mammography, and much more, right in Preston, Idaho. With short wait times and a highly skilled staff available around the clock, they'll help you reach a diagnosis quicker. Make sure your doctor knows you want to save time and money closer to home. Let them be the next to take your picture. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
KACH.
Well, welcome back here at Jerome as the Preston Indians come up short tonight, losing by a score of 49-42. The next game for the Lady Indians will be tomorrow afternoon, as they will travel up the road and head up to Wood River and take on the Lady Wolverines. Tip-off tomorrow afternoon is at 2 p.m. We'll be on the air with the pregame show at 1:45, and that will lead you into Utah State basketball coming up at 5:30 tomorrow evening. That'll wrap up our broadcast here for tonight. The executive producer of Preston Broadcasting Sports is Val Cook. Our studio coordinator tonight has been John Beverly. We'll remind you of the final score, as we'll wish you a pleasant good night here from Jerome, as the Tigers beat the Indians tonight by the final score of 49-42. Until next time, I'm Dan Hubbard saying good night. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend from here in Jerome. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Preston Indians postgame show. This broadcast has been a production of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and was intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Use of any portion of this production, its accounts or descriptions, in whole or in part, may not be used or rebroadcast without the express written permission of Preston Broadcasting, LLC.